This experiential persona was produced during a storytelling project we conducted with a group of older Taiwanese. Unlike the commonly seen persona, which presents users on a 2D poster, this experiential persona consists of a carefully curated and staged collection of artifacts. We created this novel persona because we were asked to exhibit what we have learned from these participants, the richness of their lives and the nuanced stories we have collected about them. We wanted to offer our audience, designers and public, a richer and more open-ended portrayal of our participants, one that resists singular, frozen and reductive depictions of people that we so often encounter with persona posters. But how did we end up using a collection of different artifacts? The inspiration came during a data analysis session when we were struck by how various domestic artifacts featured significantly in most of our participants' lives. So we visited a local flea market, a place that sold vintage artifacts and memorabilia, things that we saw in the homes of many of our participants. How the sellers arranged their wares sparked the idea that we can borrow meanings from these pre-loved objects to construct a credible history of our participants. Using our shared understanding of our participants, we selected and curated an ensemble of objects from various stalls at the flea market. We also quickly realized the need to ground these pre-loved objects with specific information about the owner, such as the name of the person, what she looks like, where she lives, and so on. So new artifacts were fabricated. They included a national ID photo card, some personal notes and reminder notes, a medicine prescription, household occupancy registration, and even medical records. We also created an audio monologue where the owner of these objects and artifacts talked about herself, her day, her past, family, her challenges, and so on. We displayed everything around an old desk and chair. Some artifacts were kept in the desk drawers, others on a desk and on a wall above the desk. A hidden speaker installed behind the desk played recordings of the TV, the ambient sound we often heard in the homes of our participants. A pair of headphones on a desk allowed the audience to listen to the audio monologue. So how does this experiential persona support richer sense-making, encourage a more open, emergent and unfinalized view of the people? When we exhibited this persona, our audience members were noticeably curious about the setup. People sat down and, like detectives, searched and examined the different clues in front of them. They told us that the audio monologue really helped heighten their immersion into another person's life world. The open-ended nature of the objects and artifacts seemed to support a wide range of creative sense-making, encouraging multiple interpretations of the person, and also spurred audience members to work with others in the exploration of the artifacts, discussing and comparing notes in acts of collaborative meaning-making. This experiential persona contributes to HCI methods by offering an example of a persona that's unfinalized and open to interpretation, one that resists singular and reductive depictions of people. It also presents a bodily and tangible way for us to engage and interpret our persona instead of just our eyes. It also contributes to design theory and designerly ways of how we can use tangible artifacts as effective tools to represent knowledge from our user research to support designing.
就看电视啊，有当时啊去运动安尼啦。我较无兴趣啦，是一个较无聊的老岁仔人。你问我，可能袂准。我逐工就安尼坐咧厝，有当时啊动来动去啊，退休了啊吼，较无咧叮当啦。我拢毋知影是因为年岁有岁啊安尼，才感觉吼，比遮是伫遐拢袂自在，是因为无咧做工课吼。 逐工吼时间就一堆啦，除了困了啊，嘛毋知要创啥。讲较白啦，咱有岁啊吼，嘛无咧闪撇啥，就是等迄个时间到。阮兜就我一个，阮查某囝真早就搬出去住，差不多是咧上大学的时阵吧。我嘛习惯啊，较早吼，我就感觉家己一个无啥。 即马退休了吼，时间变了足济，是真正是点歌伤无聊啦。伊嘛是袂当来看我安尼，伊有当时会转来。